Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to another Channeling Erik Archangel Guidance, where I'm doing live readings every Friday. My name is Kamastafa, also known as an intuitive empath, Con Knight, and I'm providing channeled guidance, channeled messages. So ask me any questions you may have, love, relationship, past loved ones, and I'm going to answer them. So thanks, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So good to have everyone contributing their energy today. I do just want to quickly say that I'm just going to mute this. That on this month's Patreon coming up. So I've been guided, as you know, I do quite a bit on the body and the health and the communication of healing the body, and there's quite a bit that's been coming through with preparing for the upcoming events that we're going through over the next couple of years. And part of that is our breath and what we control consciously. So that's our breath and what we put into our bodies with food. When that oxygen comes into our bodies and when that food kind of comes into our bodies, there's a processing that happens. So this month's Patreon is all about the processing of food in the digestive system and the processing actually of the blood. So we're actually going to be going into the spleen and the liver, and we're going into the digestive tracts. We're going to the stomach, the gallbladder, as well as the pancreas and intestines, in order to give it love and give it healing and get it into its optimal state for what's coming in order to process the nutrition and the food that we bring into our bodies. We already did the pineal gland, which was a couple of months ago, and that breathing process is really important to actually stimulate the breath. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in oxygen molecules, and you're actually stimulating the lungs and the brain. And this part is now going to be about the digestion and the processing of blood. So I hope you all will be able to join us for this month's Patreon. That would be on the first Thursday of every month at 4 p.m. So please join me at patreon.com. And I'll just throw up a link here real quick so y'all can see it. So it's patreon.com/content. And I hope you'll join me for that. Otherwise, thank you everyone for being here. So good of you to be here. So I'm just going to go through the comments and start tagging messages. And I'll add it to the queue. Hey, Angela. Good morning, BG. Hi, Robinette. Thank you all. Hey, E. Yeah, E, I've added you to the list. Sorry, E, you're a little bit late. So repost, I'm going to add you at the end. If you kind of see, I'm only doing messages that are 5 minutes before. So bring your message back in, E, and ask again, because it's not at the 5-minute mark. Hi, Chaitu. Hey, BG. Hey, Gina, right at the line. Great. E, Gina, I've added you. Hello, Anne. Same guidance. Got you. Samruddhi. Got you. Hey, Kathy. Got you. Awesome, Kathy. Thank you. Guarav. Okay, good. Robinette, that's pretty cool. Hey, Grace. Hey, everyone. Oh, Grace. You know, I see you're here. I'm going to read you first, Grace, but I think you would find this interesting. I started actually reading the Sophia Code, and the Sophia Code by Kaya Ka. She actually embodies, the Sophia Code is pretty much God energy, really the feminine divine, and she brings in a lot of different descended masters with a lot of different activation codes. And she has a really interesting story. So I've just read up all the pre-information that she has, all the preface and the lead up. So the Sophia Code, wow, just in the preface alone, and I'm just starting chapter 1. Oh my God, like it's so powerful already. So Grace, I thought you'd like to know that I'm reading the Sophia Code. I'm really interested in it now. Yeah. So thanks to you and Rachel kind of talking to you about it. Anyways, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna answer you first because I'm guided to. All right. So Grace is asking me. I have a message from my grandmother who's with me lately. Thanks. All right, Grandma, would you come in, please? Hi. Oh. Grandma is a little bit, she's a little bit stern, right? Like she knows who she is. Maybe not stern is the right place, but she's very, I'm going to say grounded. She knows exactly who she is. That's really cool. I like Grandma. Okay. So what does Grace need to hear from you? What does she need to hear? Was it for her greatest good? You're going through the process of aligning into your own self, your own true being of who you are. You're coming into an alignment, not only with your physical body and mind, but also your soul aspect of who you really are in the energetic world, the 5D world, if you will. And in that alignment, there's certain aspects of yourself that do not come into alignment maybe as quickly as you'd hope, or they don't feel like they fit where they should be. Although they might be in position, it doesn't feel right. And she's mentioning the aspect that when you're putting all these pieces together, it's not just about putting them into place, but sometimes they need to be rotated and adjusted in order to have all these pieces to fall into place. Ultimately, everything that you're doing in your life right now is perfect. You're very much in alignment with who you are, who you need to be. What's that? Okay. So it feels like you might be ready to start bringing in other aspects of alignment and healing. And it sounds like she's saying doing tapping, like EFT tapping. So you tap in different areas. Yes, this one, and then on that. So there's tapping. So she's talking about tapping. So not only are you putting yourself into an energetic alignment, but it's like you need to tap the body into place as well. And the EFT tapping is something that she's saying would be helping you in your alignment. So that's going to help with the rotation of these elements of not only putting them in place, but actually putting them into the proper position. Wow, that's cool. Shoot. Okay, I didn't timestamp you. I just wrote this down. Okay, Grace, I hope that resonates. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of cool, right? Very cool. Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Grace. All right, Erik. Got you here. Hi, Mishi. Mishi, we got to get together. Let's get together next week. I'm ready. Hey, Kay. And just going to add a couple more people to the list here, and I'm going to come back. Hey, KB. Oh, yeah, Katrina. Okay, cool. I got you. Got you. Okay, so let me come to the top here. And I'm coming to Gina. And I'm timestamping all these messages, and they'll be put into the description if people can't stick around. So check the description probably tonight or tomorrow, and I'll be adding this information in here. So Gina says, hello, Con. Can I ask my spirit guides, Erik, for any message or advice from the job I'm taking on August 2nd? All right, guides, Erik, who's coming through on this one? I feel Erik is stepping through on this one. All right, man. What do you want to say about the job on August 2nd? It feels like this job isn't the most appropriate word for it, because it seems like it's going to give you some fulfillment as well, some purpose in what you're doing. And it feels like you're going to discover some aspects of yourself that you didn't really see within yourself, that you're going to be asked to do certain things. We're not talking about bad things, but just part of the job. And as you do these jobs, you're going to say, oh, I'm really good at this. I can really do this. This is really Interesting. So you're going to discover new aspects of yourself that's going to empower you and let you know that you are much more than the person that you think you are, and to let you know that your capabilities go far beyond than what might be put in place of you. And that's something for all of us. We are not who we think we are. We are told that we are this box, this 4 sides or 6 sides of something, that, and we're supposed to sit in there. But what we discovered through meditation is that when you go into meditation and you blank your mind out and you ask a question, and you say, show me something that I need to know, and that answer comes to you, you realize that you become more than what you are defined to be in this world. So what you're going to see in this job, you're going to find new aspects of yourself that is beyond who is the definition of Gina. And that's going to open up doors to many other things for you. So it's not even so much about the job in particular. It's more about the aspects of what you're going to learn about yourself through the tasks that are going to give you. So this is a learning experience. So go with it. Enjoy it. Love it. Yeah, you're going to benefit from it. Awesome. Excited for you, Gina. I'm really excited for you. That sounds great. Awesome. Grace, I'm so glad that resonates. Good. I love your grandmother energy. Typically the women in my family, they're quite direct, and they typically speak. Well, they don't really speak their truth, but at least to family, to me, they would speak their truth. So Mama was no one to push around with, and my grandmother, not only loving, but pretty straightforward. And that's kind of typical of the people of my culture anyways. We're pretty blunt with things. So yeah, I like your grandmother's energy. I think we're all from the same region anyway, so it's very similar. Let me come to Anne Sylvester here. And 1213. Okay, hello, Con and Erik. I'm looking for some guidance for an area to focus on my spiritual growth outside of meditation. Any suggestions? Okay, team. What could Anne do or is doing, could do more to expand beyond her meditation for spiritual growth, for her greatest good? I'm seeing, there's multiple aspects when it comes down to our spiritual growth. And they're actually showing me quite a few things. Kind of like the EFT tapping that we showed Grace, nutrition and getting more into the vibrational aspect of food, and the importance of natural, fresh, raw foods, even fruitarian type thing, breatharian type thing. Maybe not so much the breatharian for you. What specifically can she do? I'm seeing it's all the modalities. So there's many modalities such as Reiki, EFT tapping, breath work. And in terms of breath work, I'm seeing Grace, who's that guy that you're using? And they do the push and the pull. What's his name? Let me know, Grace, because you're doing this. But it's that breath work of the Norwegian guy that's helping a lot of people. So I'm seeing that would be beneficial for you. But what should she start with? What would be a first one that she'd go with? I'm hearing Reiki quite strongly, if you haven't done it. Reiki is a good thing to start with for you, because it's going to get you into the more of the feeling aspect of things. And once you start sensing energy and feeling energy within people, and you start feeling energy within the body, you start becoming much more sensitive and much more mindful of the body. Now, women in general are more in tune with their body and can feel things, mainly because of the monthly cycles that you go through. You're much more in tune with your bodies than men are, because you look at what's going on with me. What is this? And you notice the emotions that are coming with you. So you're much more in tune already. So taking the next step with the Reiki would then help you connect with other aspects of what's going to help the body. So I don't know, what does that mean? It's like this thing, you're just going to develop a deeper connection with your body and your soul. And then once you do that, you're going to start seeing things like nutrition and tapping and everything else that goes along with it. Yeah. That's what I'm getting. I really see you can do no wrong with this, but that's what I'm getting with this. Thank you. I hope that resonates. You're welcome, Jeannie. I hope that resonates. Hey, Cheryl. Yes, Channeling Erik with Elisa. Well, it's not with Elisa, but although if you look in the description below, you see links to Elisa's channel and the scalar work. So please support Elisa Medhouse with all this. Everything goes back to her in terms of thanks and appreciation. It's all back to her. You're welcome, man. Thank you. All right. I see Samruddhi's next, but I'm being drawn to go a little bit further down. And this is it. Okay. So, hey, Katrina. Erik and Katrina. And the time is 16:43. Okay. So, Katrina says, thanks for the message, but today I'm so worried about my youngest daughter. Can you please give me a message from spirit guides and archangels on how to help her, please? Youngest daughter. Guys, would you come in for this one, please? Thanks. Okay. Youngest daughter, what does she need? What does Katrina need to hear? What does the daughter need? Oftentimes when our children, even ourselves, the people around us, when they start going in a direction that might not be in alignment with us, there are a couple of aspects of it. And one of them is that it is a cry for help. It's a cry for love, that they say, I need love. And there's a need for you to give love, but then their aspect would be, I don't necessarily trust you because I've been burned before. So they need a consistent love. So even though I might not understand you, I love you anyways. I deeply understand you and I deeply love you. There's one aspect. The other aspect is that she's going on a journey that is her spiritual growth. Much like we don't understand, our parents didn't understand us when we were teenagers, it helped develop us in who we are and who we were going to become. So there's that aspect. And they want to lay that foundation down first for you to know that when you have this, you need to recognize what as this, they're going to address this particular event, but they're talking in general as well, that when things happen to them, sometimes you got to let it go for them to learn. If it's controlled, if it's safe, it's fine. And when we're talking about like skydiving is, you're getting strapped up. They have all the safety apparatus, even though it's dangerous. But in terms of the grand scope of things, the safety is quite important in there, and it's controlled fall. So they're given that relation. So specifically to this, now, what can she do? Is this something for her to get involved with? Yes. Okay, this is something for you to get involved. How does she get involved with this one? This does require your unconditional love. And what specifically can she do? And you can leave little messages for her, even though she might not listen to you directly. You can leave messages for her by saying, I love you. I don't know what's going on with your life, but no, I'm always here for you, and I never have judgment against you. And there's almost like I really do love you. I really mean it. Like it's reinforcing that and just constantly letting her know it. Even though when she starts throwing you events that are really supposed to derail you and get you mad, it's a test that the ego is testing. It's not necessarily her, but it's the animal body within her that's reacting and testing back. So she's throwing that back to you. So, and you need to accept it. Okay, I get that. And I love you anyways. I'm here for you. No matter what, I'm here for you. So there's a need for you to give that back. Okay, now is there anything absolutely specific that you can do for her? Does it have to do with what she's putting into her body? Because it feels multiple aspects of putting things in the body. Is there purging involved as well? Because it feels like something's coming into the body, but also I'm feeling something in my throat with this that possibly she could be purging. And it feels like it comes out of self-confidence that she needs to learn to love herself. So specifically, you can share the aspect of mirror work. So share with her how mirror work, how you do mirror work, whether you do it or not. I'll be putting a video out on that soon enough. But look at the mirror work, and it's quite simple actually. Mirror work involves looking in the mirror and looking into your eyes. And as you look in your eyes, you say, I love you. But it's not how you want to use the words, is to say the words with sincerity, even if you don't believe it, because that's the aspect. Your inside body's not going to believe it, but you're going to say it with sincerity. I love you. I mean it. And when you can use that tone, the body and the mind don't know that you're not sincere truly about it. Eventually, the body and the mind will learn that. More the body and the ego, the animalistic nature, the core foundation of the human aspect. So start and share mirror work with her, and also share that she doesn't have to actually be in front of a mirror, that you can grab your camera, you can look at your cell phone and then find out where the camera is by running your finger around, and then take a picture of you looking into the lens. And now you have a picture that you can take anywhere, that you can just look at the picture and look in your eyes and do the same thing and say, I love you. But to say it with sincerity and that you mean it. And as you use that tone and voice, things will begin to shift. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on there, but with what I'm getting here and without aligning, I'll say this is the difference of having, let's say, a live one-on-one. When I do like a live one-on-one, I'll spend about half an hour aligning and meditating with your energy, with your space and your environment. And if there's specific questions, I'm now aligning myself to that energy and connecting. So typically you can get a little bit more detailed. Outside of this, where I'm swapping energies in and out, it's very different. I'm not going to say very different, but it's different. The messages are much more deeper in there. Yeah, so maybe consider doing a one-on-one and just kind of reaching out to me, or look at my link tree, and you'll see something there. But yeah, my heart's with you. I hope that resonates, and I hope it's along the same lines where you're going here. Yeah, I know it's going to be scary with children. Hi, Silvana. Yeah, I added to the list. Okay. They're asking me to go to Kathy first. And so 24, 29. Okay. Kathy says, I've been having trouble with emotional releasing. My last attempt was so traumatic, I actually called out to guides and angels for assistance. Any suggestions or messages? And this is the whole idea about doing emotional release work. you're going to see stuff that you might not be ready for. So when you start these events, tell your guides and angels beforehand, only show me what I'm ready to deal with. Make it so that I can, say it again, make it so that I can handle this, but with a human aspect. So in their terms of handling it, they know you're ready to handle it, but with the human aspect, they reduce it down a bit. So there's a need for you to say that out to them. If they can take it a little bit easy on you. But when those traumatic events happen and you view it, there's a need to say, I may not understand you, but I love you anyways. And Kathy, I think you're one of my patrons. So I don't know if you know this, but I've sent out a few messages already that to all my active patrons, I'm giving a free 3-hour emotional release, a guided emotional release. So this is like a one-on-one session, which is usually like $300. And I spend an hour to an hour aligning with your energy. And then we get into our meeting and we spend the first half hour and you just kind of sharing what's going on. And then I'll just kind of work with the guys and they tell me which ones to go in what order. And we'll go through multiple aspects, more so than just giving an area of love, but also going through multi-generational work where we bring in parents and family and past loved ones in to release, and we help release the generations. So I think you are one of the patrons. So send a message out and claim it. You have until next week when the next Patreon event starts to claim it. So maybe get in on that. Yeah, I mean, there's no cost to that right now, right? And I do quite a bit for free. Yeah, and Kay says, Con assisted me with emotion releasing at first when I was doing it, and I wasn't ready for it alone. However, Con did lead me in and out of the dark emotions. That was major, yeah. And the idea behind this is that you learn different aspects of that. Okay, so I didn't do the emotion release on purpose. Yeah, but that's the idea, is that once you know how, so this is a learning process. Once you know how to deal with the emotions that are coming into you, you realize that you know how to face it. Once you learn how to face something new, so think about a child that enters into a new situation, or you're at the grocery store and there's a child and mother in front of you, and when you're looking at it and you're saying hi, and they hide behind the mother's leg, and they're not ready for your energy, but just bit by bit they keep on peeking out at you, and you're like hi, and you smile and you wink and you maybe make a funny face, and eventually their energy starts coming out from behind the leg a little bit more, and they connect more with you. So there's the same thing with the emotions, but not just the happy emotions, but the traumatic emotions are in there. The body is an animal. It's not ready to see that. So it gets a little bit frightened when it sees something new, especially something that just pops into your head. It's like, holy crap. And you don't know how to deal with it. That's where you take a breath, you take a minute, and you look at it, and you say, it's okay. You tell the body, it's okay. You're perfectly safe. No harm's going to come to you. You're going to be okay. And we're just observing. No harm's going to come to you. And observe it. And look at the emotions that's there. Notice where it shows up in your body, and then get close to that area in the body and start communicating with it. And that's when the different aspects of giving it love, letting it know it's okay, giving it proper permission, and constantly giving it praise and reinforcement that everything that it's going through is okay, and nothing's going to happen to it, and that you love it unconditionally, and that you're not going to leave. And there's quite a few different aspects of what can happen, whether it's abandonment, fear, sadness, any like a sexual event. These are things that happen to all of us, so we need to be able to deal with it in these different ways. So yeah, that's it. So think about that. I'm there, but there's also the I think if you look in the description on this, that I put a link in for the emotional release stuff, and there's a guided emotional release, so use that. So go into the guided emotional release, bring the feeling of that event back into your body, and you work on it using the guided emotion release, and use that event specifically, and know that you're in a safe space while you're doing it. So use the guided emotion release. You find a link to it in the description. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Elizabeth. Katrina says, "Oh, thank you very much. Love, you got it. Spreading love is what I do. Thank you so much, y'all." Good. Of course, I'm kind of going to. I just following what's kind of coming to me. So I really get a little bit freaked out when it's stuff that just seems right out of left field. So what it is. Hey, Marie. Let me see you, sis. I added you. Brother Martin, got you. Okay, I added you as well. Okay, I'm coming to the top, and I know I'm going to be coming to you, back to you, Martin, in a minute. Okay, so let me come to Samruddhi. And Samruddhi 3114. Okay, Samruddhi says, "Can I get a message from my deceased father?" Dad, would you come in, please? Thanks. Okay. What does Samruddhi need to hear? It's like he's being very stern. He's like, "Stop. Stop. Stop this nonsense in the wallowing of me, of my physical body not being there. Stop the wallowing of it. You know you're connected. You know we have a communication on an energetic level. So why are you not communicating with me? You know better than this. I'm right here." And he's like saying we don't abandon our loved ones. Something along those lines. We don't abandon our loved ones. And he's saying you not tuning into your energy inside and connect with him is the same as abandoning. And he's saying that in a loving way. This isn't supposed to be fearful or scary, but he's saying it in a loving way. And he's saying to connect, that you've received enough direction and guidance to know how to connect. And he's telling me to share what we usually do. And that is, again, going into your heart, breathing into your heart, into your center core, and breathing and feeling in your heart. And then as you breathe in heart, bring elevated emotion, happy moments that you had with your father, those times that you brought joy, those moments that you felt proud, that you really had a connection with him. And bring those moments in to raise your vibrations. And as it raises your vibrations, you'll be able to feel him and hear him and have a connection with him. And just get quiet and just feel it and allow it to come in. Don't talk over it. Just kind of get that feeling. Just hold on to that feeling and notice the messages that come in for you. He's communicating with you, and he's saying, "Don't abandon the Father." Meaning you or God? Well, both. Which is one and the same, he's saying. Energetically, we're all one. So don't abandon the Father. Him, God, your spiritual aspect, the whole gamut of it. Go into your heart, breathe, feel elevated emotions, and that will allow you to connect. Yeah. Hope that resonates. Well, it will. It will. Okay, I'm being asked to come to Martin now. Martin Shadamoon with the super cool name and handle. Okay, Martin says, question for Spirit of Willing. Had a night of praying, then fell asleep. Woke up to an animal stepping on my leg and jumping down. Even heard the trump of it jumping down, but nothing there. Who was it? Over this next year, we're going to be coming across quite a few beings that we've never heard or seen. Animals that have never been seen before, never been heard of before. And this feels like the energetic footprint of one of these animals. And what I'm being shown, it's very odd looking, this energetic footprint of this animal, but it feels like a round ball, very furry, but it has a bit of a pointed nose, almost, it's just pointed, extending out of the face, fur coming down. No tail, but it's almost just like this fur ball, little eyes and a nose, and very thin legs. Okay. Anyways, so the energy I'm getting is that it's one of these new energetic blueprints of one of these animals that are beginning to manifest on this earth. And we're going to be seeing a lot of this, new things we've never seen before. And we're going to see more of them, especially over the upcoming year. So this is the energetic footprint of that. So why Martin? Why did I jump on him? This is really what happens when you align yourself and you open yourself up. So as you're aligning yourself to energies and connecting spiritually, this is just kind of part of the process. And as we're seeing this ascension energy and the shift that's happening on the world, because the earth is changing, the sun is changing, they're working together, everything is changing on this. So if you're outside, that's one thing. No, not that. Why Martin? Yeah, you're just opening up. You're going to see more of this. Allow yourself to align with it, and don't freak out. You had that initial starter, but know they're going to come back. And this isn't a bad thing. This isn't anything to be worried about, but it is something for you to align your energy to. And this is more for your practice and connection, and start connecting with that. This is going to help you cross over into new worlds and begin to connect you a little bit more. It's all part of your ascension. Like all of our ascension, we're going to be connecting to these different beings and animals, and you're going to see a lot of them. So well done, Martin. That's beautiful. Well done. Yeah, I'll tell you, in my own meditations, I'm finding in my own meditations that that I'm beginning to just drop into voids, and it feels like just the rug has been pulled underneath me, and I fall into a hole. And it's just big jarring movement that I fall down like a foot, and it's just a plop. And that is like a drop into the void. It's a connection into the void and opening up into the separation of knowing that we are not these bodies, that we are not these realms. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of this, that anyone that's actually active with the work that we do with ourselves, you're going to see quite a bit more. It's really cool. Yeah, Martin, no worries. I mean, I was guided to read you, so I came to you. Hey, Linda. Okay, I've added you to the list. You're welcome, Samruddhi. Oh, you got the tingles. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Okay, hey, Sil. Got you. Really cool, Martin. Okay, so that was Martin. Let me come back up here. Okay. I'm coming to Guarav. Samruddhi, are you guys related? Asking. Okay. 39, 33. I guess it's no wonder they had me do these things back to back. Okay. Guarav asked for a message from my deceased father. Father, would you come in, please? Hi. Okay. Well, his energy seems lighter. It seems a little bit more jovial. It seems to laugh. It's like entering just with like laughing. It's light, a little bit more fun. He seems very playful, like you like to play. And it almost sounds like he's saying this is an aspect of himself that maybe he didn't show as much, but he did have this aspect about him. Okay. And what does Guarav need to hear? He's showing me outside. And you might be outside a lot, but you're not necessarily connecting with outside, specifically with the sun. So he's showing me about connecting up with the sun and looking up to the sun and allowing the rays of the sun on you. But it's not just the rays, it's the photons that come from the sun's energy that is necessary in healing to the body. So as you look up to it, I don't know if you wear glasses, but make sure you take your glasses off and look. You're gonna have your eyes closed, but look and allow the photons and the energy of the sun to enter into your body, because that's very much healing for you, and it's necessary for your body, because it feels like you're grounding. Because it seems like you might be in bare feet a lot, and possibly on the soil or the dirt quite a bit. Or you take advantage of that. But he's also saying you need to connect in the sun. And even better if you can do it together, if you're connecting with the earth and the sun at the same time and have that connection. It's something that I've been doing quite often this past month. It's really necessary for you to connect in the sun. It seems like you're okay grounding wise, but you need sun energy. Anything else with that, Father? Yeah, just open yourself and allow. Put yourself into a state of allowing and open yourself up. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Martin. You're welcome. So speaking about the energy that's coming onto the planet and the shifts that are happening right now. This is something that I'm going to be doing on this month's Patreon, but I'm also going to be posting it shortly after on YouTube, because everybody needs this coming up. Consciously, we can breathe, we eat and we drink. So we can decide what we put into our bodies and process, and then we use the breath, and we can decide if we decide to smoke, what we put in the body. So in this month's Patreon, we are going through specifically the organs of the body that are for digestion, but also for the blood, because we already did the pineal gland a couple of months ago, and that is part of the breath. And doing that heavy breath stimulates the brain and brings in oxygen into the brain, but it also stimulates the pineal gland, which releases certain chemicals, which prepares the body. And now we're getting into the process of digestion and the spleen and the liver. So the blood is cleansing, but there's also the release of white blood cells into the body. And then we start, that is a big part of our health and our elimination system. And then we have in our digestion, we have the gallbladder and the pancreas, which is providing the breakdown of food and bile, and also the enzymes needed to break down the food, and then the stomach is churning, and all the nutrients go into the intestines. So there's a preparation needed within the body in order to prepare for that. So that's going to be happening on this month's Patreon. So I hope you all will come for that and join the Patreon for this, because there's a necessity with that. Yeah, that's it. With that, if anybody's here, please share this out. If you think anybody else needs to receive a message today, please share this out. And it's all about ascending and getting people woken up. So share it, and if you feel inclined to, leave a donation to help support this channel, or join the Patreon to help support the channel and the messages that come here. So I hope that resonates. Thank you all. All right, so I'm coming to Angela. And Angela H at 4447. And Angela says, hiya. I'd love a message from my cousin Tammy. Thank you so much. Okay, Tammy. Tammy, would you come in, please? What do you have to say for Angela? She's a total cheerleader. I can just feel her energy is just complete cheerleader. I don't know if you guys were close to age, or maybe she was a little bit older. Maybe not older, even a little bit younger. It feels like you guys are roughly around the same age. At least energetically. And she just feels very light, jovial, loving, very playful, just a lot of fun energy. Okay, so what does Ashleigh need to hear right now? So she's getting back to you working on yourself. So you had a release, you had a little bit of work, you had some play, but now she's saying it's time to get back into yourself and start looking at some of those deeper emotions that you've been holding on to, and really getting into the self-love, because there's some self-love that's needed here within yourself. So remember about yourself, get back into the hard work that you're doing, and the self-love. There's aspects of yourself that need to be released still that haven't been looked at yet. Yeah, there's a need for that. It's time, Angela. It's time to get back into it. I hope that resonates. Hey, PT. Awesome. I've added you to the list, PT. Okay, Robinette is here. Robinette S. Okay, 47. 40. Okay, so Robinette says, last year I helped a spirit who had been attached to me since 1964. He told me he had a life together when he was a slave. Can you expand on that lifetime, and does he still visit me? Thank you. Okay, spirit. Okay, so can you talk to me about the life that you had? Yeah, I feel you were both chained at the ankle together, and it feels like you're on a ship rowing, and the two of you were beside each other, and it seems like you gave each other the motivation and the push to move on, to continue as you went through this horrible experience of your life. But we have to remember, many of us went through that aspect of the physical. So the time before this, so the world that we're in right now is all about emotional work. And the time there was the lessons about the physical hardship and being used and abused, and it's all part of the lessons that we had. So he was saying that time was necessary for both of you to go through, to experience that aspect, because you also had lives on the other side where you were the slave owners, and but because of your experience as a slave, when you were a slave owner, it was more than the cultural norm to have slaves, but you treated the slaves that were on your property with a much more love and respect, because you had been a slave in your past life. And so you were very much more kinder to that. And this actually shifted quite a few people who were kind of slaves, and how we had the liberation of not owning slaves in this world anymore. Even though there are still slaves in this world, it's not as popular or as mainstream or in front of people's eyes. So that was an aspect of you that you learned. Are you guys still together? Are you still with her? Most certainly he's with you. He'll guide you through some of those moments that are very tough for you. When all hope is lost, you're feeling quite defeated. This past soul guide, he's now a guide for you, but he's going to help you during those moments that when all is lost, because that's what you did for each other when you were bound together on this slave ship, that you were the motivation for each other to get through us. And typically he's talking about the trust in God, because you were very religious back then, but the aspect that you have now, the trust in God that you have now, isn't necessarily in the religious sense, but in the spiritual sense. So know that the trust in God, the connections, your guides, the people that are with you, you feel people on a much more sensitive level. You can feel the spirits around you. So this is all part of your growth, and they're going to help you through these tougher times that you have around you. Yeah. That's what I got for you. I hope that resonates, Robinette. Thank you. Yes, Wim Hof. I forgot who we were talking about for that, but it was Wim Hof. Thank you. That was awesome. Thanks, Grace. Wim Hof, who I was talking about, was doing some breath work to start looking at. I think it was maybe for you, Anne. I think it was for you, Anne. And so take a look at Wim Hof, the breath work that Wim Hof does. Awesome. Okay. And can we come to Michelle now? And this is Michelle Euro. And we come here. 52:15. Can't read my writing. Okay, Michelle says, I'd love a message for my highest good, please, from your team. Okay, guys. Oh, my team. Okay, my team. Got it. I feel you. Such galactic energy. You have a lot of galactic guides around you now. And I can feel the 7. Like there's 7 primary guides that are around you. The council. And there's got to be from what you showed me before, because I can see the different shapes. I've forgotten about it, but I can see the different shapes and aspects that they come in as. Very different. That's not me yawning. That's an energy burst. Thank you. Okay, I got it. Okay, so what does Michelle need to hear right now for her greatest good? Wow. Okay, so they're talking about judgment. So judgment is a big topic. As humans, we all have judgment. But our greatest judgment is against ourselves. Because we've been taught from a very young age to be nice on the outside. Dress nice, smile nice, sit nice, be nice, don't say harmful words, don't show emotions in public, very much in the 5 physical senses. And there's like, see that person, be like them. It's all about outward body, and we've been trained for a long time of that. So because of that, we end up being judgmental against other people, but we're also judgmental against ourselves. The greatest judgment is against ourselves. Even when we don't know that we're doing it, we're judgmental against ourselves. And we're judgmental is that when we see success in those that are doing really good, instead of celebrating that, we say something negative about ourselves. Oh, they're doing better than me. And I know this is stemming based on something that you and I spoke about before, but that's what's coming up, Michelle. So judgment is coming up, and it feels like this is your big topic. This is the big emotional release that you'll be working on, is judgment. And it feels like you and I will be working on that together as well, on the judgment, as we do some work together. Because we both need work in the judgment side, but specifically that's your primary. It's not necessarily a primary for me, but it's your primary for you. So judgment. So how's she going to work with it? She already knows how. She's doing it. She does the work. It's a matter of getting off your duff and doing it. So go do it. Anything else? No, it's what they're doing is giving you clues. And they're saying you're at a crossroads where you have multiple signs and pathways that you can go, and they're just pointing you down a pathway. And they're saying this is where you want to go look down next. So go look at judgment, that aspect on the emotional release side, and let's connect up. Yeah, you know, to get a hold of me. Love you, Mishi. Very cool. That was awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle, and a loving hello to you. That was sweet. Hey, Ash. Got you. Okay. I got you. I give you. Grace says this for Ann Sylvester. I've been doing Wim Hof breathing for some time now, and it's so helpful and powerful too. Yeah, I mean, I do a Taoist breathing that my Sifu puts me through, and the energy that I've had, I mean, my energy used to be pretty low, and it is huge. It started out with a fire breath, developing fire, and now I'm working on 5 different sounds for the different organs in the body, and I'm working on the sound work, and it's breath and sound. So you have to do certain sounds when you do the breath, and that's what that ha. But when you do that, that breath actually works on different organs in the body as well. You're doing that, but it's kind of limited to about 2. So that's really cool, but it expands out. Really good foundational work. Good. Okay, Robinette says this does resonate. Good. And you're welcome, Guarav. Beautiful. Ashleigh, I'm coming to you. Okay. Ashleigh is a good friend of my wife and us. So she kind of gets priority here for everybody. So we're bringing her up here. Okay, Ashleigh. Ashley says, I woke up with terrible neck pain yesterday. I'm wondering if there's a message or emotional connection to it or not. Okay. I feel it's like C1, C2 access point. I feel there's a need for cranial work, craniosacral work for you. Talk to Rita about doing some cranial work for you. What's in the neck there? 1, 2. I feel it's higher up. It's not so much lower up. It's more higher up, dealing with the access. I know you got the neck pain, but it's putting some tension on the muscles that are there. Yes. Fear. This is fear of your son. That any little thing that you see with him, because your son he's he's one of the special ones. He's one of the new breeds and very much open. And his energy and how he aligns into this world and the energy that he kind of brings in and puts out and what he transmutes is very different than most people see. So the aspect of you is the fear, and that when these things happen to him, you start going into a bit of a panic and a fear, and you start touching all of your collection of homeopathics and remedies and herbs, and you start, what I got to do to fix this? Well, maybe it's time to allow that energy to flow and letting go of the outcome. It's not so much of you needing to fix him, but the intention that you use when you are connecting there is to shift it from fixing to allowing the energy flow to pass more easily for him. Because the energy and those sicknesses that you see isn't necessarily a sickness. It's an activation. It's a shift. It's a change within the physical body that's necessary for him to do the work that he needs to do as he gets older. And the physical body, they're put into kind of like you think like a recipe. You start out with a pot of stock, and you just have the pot down, and you just kind of put in your vegetable broth. And as you have the vegetable broth, you're going to start adding in certain vegetables, adding in certain spices. And you need time for those vegetables to soften before you add in additional ingredients, before you have to stir it. So what's happening with his own body is that he's a big pot that's being shifted and changing, and the recipe is changing within him. So as those ingredients are added in, you start seeing the flash. So imagine that you're putting in something into an oil, a hot oil. It has that initial spark that begins to settle down. It's the same thing that's happening with him, is that there's an initial flare up as the energy and the shift comes in, that the body then needs to settle down. So instead of trying to fix it and stop it, use the intention of easing it and allowing it to pass through quickly. And it's your intentions. So that fear of stopping and fixing and the worry, I got to fix it, I got to stop it. It's that it's the emotion and the love of the mother. But the love of the mother is at the fear level. So we know fear also has a vibrational scope as well. And on the lower end of fear is like, if I don't do this, he's going to die. If I don't do this, there's going to be trouble. There's something horrible that's going to happen if I don't do it. So you're doing it at a place of love, but it's at a panic. So it's at a low vibration. So if you shift your energy and change that into, now we're working together. So it's for you to work in unison together, because as the mother, you have a telepathic communication with your child. So communicate telepathically, and you already know what you need to do, because this is what mothers do. You are communicating at a telepathic level, especially before the age of 5. You communicate. All mothers connect with their children on a telepathic communication level. This is why when they go to touch something on the desk, and you say, no, don't. In your mind, you're showing an image of him touching something on the desk, and this is why they go to continue touching that object on the desk. So if you then know that he's about to touch something, you shift your attention telepathically to show the hand coming back and reaching for a fluffy toy, reaching for something else. So begin to communicate on a telepathic level and know that this is within the mother realm, especially for children below the age of 5. When you start getting up to the age of 7, that's when it's more the analytical brain comes in and the cognitive side begins to develop. They move out of the theta brain waves and go into a higher frequency. But right now they're in that dream state. And that's why they can do make believe and play for so long, because they're in that theta state, which is kind of like that dream state. They're connected very much. They have a lot of communication. So he was going to have a lot of activations, a lot of shifts, a lot of change in the body. So shift your attention and energy into telepathic. Know what you need to do and change your intention is that I'm easing, I'm helping, and you're doing it together. So guide him telepathically as you go through this, and know that he's okay and that he's safe. And this is going to release the tension that's within you, that's creating some tension in there. But also look at the cranial sacral work with Rita, because as you've created that tension, the muscles have tightened. It's put in some tension on the sutures, and it's overlapping and creating pressure in you. That's cool. Folks, I hope everyone kind of sees this one about telepathic. Telepathic is really big. Yeah, we have to thank our mothers in this world. That was awesome. Thank you. Hey, Ahsen. Hey, brother. Services. I can't wait to help others again spiritually and mentor a few people as well. Practicing patient isn't my strong point. I used to do this before. Awesome. So see, you already know what to do. It's amazing. All right, I am coming to K. So let me come to K, and we're just at the hour mark, 105:33, and I'm good until 2. So Kay says, hey, Con, hey, Erik. A message from Archangel Gabriel. Okay, I will. Okay. Gabriel. Thank you. I've got the female aspect of Gabrielle. And I'm just being brought in with quite a bit of love coming in through my back, in my spine, behind my heart. And I'm just kind of feeling that aspect of love, and it's just kind of pouring in and settling down for me. Okay. And what does Kay need to hear right now for her greatest good of all? I'm feeling quite a bit of energy in coming at the base of my skull, which is an entry point to the third eye. So we got to know that the pineal gland is here. It comes right in front to another point considered the third eye, but it really is a cross section of the pineal gland. And if you think about the back of your throat and the base of your neck here, is the closest point of where you're actually going to get to the physical pineal gland, which is where our third eye is. So you should be feeling pressure or energy here. And this is where a lot of spirits are entering in for you. From here, they typically do enter in from the third eye, and this is the closest point. And it feels like they're entering in for you. So there's a need for you to relax and let go of that as you're feeling that pressure back there. Relax and tune in to your third eye or the pineal gland that's back there. And put yourself into a state of allowing. So recently on the YouTube channel, I put up a pineal gland advanced meditation, and it feels like you're ready for this. You've released what you needed to release, but now you need to open up your third eye. So look at that advanced the advanced pineal gland breath work, pineal gland meditation. And what that is your there's an alignment of 9 chakras, which includes the soul chakra and the earth chakra. So that's earth and sun, connecting to spirit, align the chakras, opening them up. And then we go into the body, and you start doing the pineal gland breath. That starts activating the pineal gland and putting pressure on the pineal gland, which release these crystals that go into the spinal fluid, creates these piezoelectrical effects, and it creates these sparks. And that's releasing chemicals in your body. And the more you do that, you're going to reach different levels. And once you get high, you're going to reach like DMT level. But then at the end of that is an emotional release, because now you're clearly open. After you spend time in the pineal gland, you activate it. You're going to be completely open, that you're going to be ready for deeper elements of your emotional release work. So look at that. I think you might have done it before. You did do it before. And that gave you some releasing. You're ready to do it again. So look at the advanced work, do the pineal gland, and release the emotion. And they want you to, it's going to be activating, opening up your third eye. And that's what Gabrielle is working on right now, to open up your third eye even greater. So use that advanced meditation. You need to release as well. That's what I'm feeling. Awesome. I'm excited for you, Kay. Awesome. Incredible. This resonates so much. Of course, this is something I worry about all the time. He was sick last week. It shows his illness, but I do feel intuitive. It's an activation of consciousness. Yes. I'll do mute us to surrender when it happens. He's still getting a few remedies though. Yeah, and it's not a matter of not giving him remedies. It's the intention behind the remedies. It's, when you're giving the remedies, it's not, you're not giving it with fear. You're giving it with that's going to ease the transition and allow you to activate and allow the body to acclimate into the system it needs to go into easier. So choosing the right remedies with the right intention is going to have much more of a duplicitous effect. Awesome. And you're welcome, Kay. Very cool. Love it. All right. We come to KB. 1:10:43. KB says, "Hello, Khan. May I have a message for my daughter from her angels and guides? She's turning 15 next week. She's currently writing a book and working hard to excel in everything. Thank you." Hey, daughter. Okay. I feel you. Thank you. Okay. Permission for her greatest good. Okay. I feel them looking down at her, and they're just looking at her with just loving compassion. Their heads are tilted, and they're like, really just so proud of who she is and what she's doing. So they're very proud and happy for her. But they do want her to remind her that, the whole reason that she's aligned into the energy that she has, and all the things that she's doing for herself, writing a book, working hard to excel, she does well in it because she's open and allowing. But she's now shifting into a different energy of that I have to do this. I have to excel because people are expecting this of me. And that's the aspect that she needs to remember, that, you're so, at this young age, you're so open and creative, and you're very much in tune with your higher self and the energies and the spirit world that the younger generation does really well. But as we get older and as we get more responsibility, we start moving more into the physical five senses, into the working hard piece, trying to excel in studies instead of continuing to tune into yourself so that the information flows through you so that you can write the books from a heart level, from an energetic level, from a connection level. So this is really her going through a pivotal moment in her life, that where the majority of teenagers lose that self-loving happiness, because all of a sudden, as every single addict can suddenly say, it's like we lose ourselves, we forget ourselves as we were as teenagers. Life was so free, it was so open, it was so amazing. Mind you, as the teenage aspect, we say, oh, this is hard, it's horrible, I hate being a teenager, it's so much work. But really, we know as adults that it gets a whole lot worse. But the reason why it gets a whole lot worse is because we lose that connection. It's hard for the teenage body to go through that because we're going through a lot of physical changes, a lot of chemical changes in the body, especially at that 15-year mark. There's a lot of energy, and especially in the female body, with the hormones that are happening in the body, and the emotions that are coming up. And really, it is learning to tune into that, but allowing it to pass through instead of fighting it. So for you, dear one, allow the energy to flow through you. Do not use the words of, why is this happening to me? But it's happening for you. And tune into the energy and anything that you feel might be hard on you, tune into it because there's a reason for it. And allow it to pass through you. Observe it. This is the time to observe that energy and not to force it and get stuck. This is where trapped emotions happen. We don't allow those energies and emotions to pass through. We don't look at them. So allow the emotions to look at them, spend time with them, love them, and allow them to pass through. This is the same thing that's happening with your studies. Don't focus so hard on your studies. Yes, it's going to help, but also just allow the work to come through. And if it If it doesn't come out to the way you want to come out to, release that notion that you need to dictate the outcome, because that is the 3D world aspect of forcing things to happen, creating schedules and making things happen. Although a lot of those parts are necessary, it's not what all needs to happen. It's more about energy flowing rather than restricting, stopping, and making it do something else. Allow the energy to flow and move where it needs to go, and just give it the intention and love that it deserves. There's a lot of hidden messages in this and allowing. So I hope people look at this and look at it, especially for younger people that are like 15, teenagers going through the body changes as well. This is really big for you. Yeah, I hope that resonates. Hey, Kerilyn, got you. I got you to the list. All right, so I'm coming to Dipti. Hello, Dipti. 160. Oops. Okay. Dipti. No, wait. Okay, so Dipti says, "Hello, Khan. Any message for me today?" Okay, so who wants to come in for a message for Dipti? Feels like Erik is coming forward on this one. Erik, what do you want to say? So Erik keeps on showing me his mom, Elisa. And I think there might be some information on her channel that might help you. So look in the description below, and you'll see links under special mentions to Elisa Medhus, which the original Channeling Erik, and take a look at her channel and go there. It feels like maybe some of the content might be beneficial for you. What is there something specific? When is it recent? It doesn't seem like it's even recent content. You'll know when you get there. You're gonna skim through, and something's gonna pop out to you, and there's gonna be some information there that's gonna pop out for you. So go to just follow the link. Go in the description below and go check out Elisa Medhus. Is it the scalar work? Would she benefit from? You would benefit from the scalar work that she does as well. So you can take a look at the scalar channel that's linked to below. There's a playlist there. But more so, there's a message in the original channel that's there. So take a look at that. I don't know what it is, but that's just what they wanted me to share. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's good. Good, BG. I'm glad you say that. Yeah, this is a message for all teenagers, to share that part out to as many teenagers as you can, and that's the at the 1 hour 10-minute mark or 11-minute mark. Yeah, teenagers need to hear this. Yeah, that's our future generations. Oh, love a message. Awesome. Okay, got you. Got you, Karen. Okay, Karen. They want me to read you now. You got my attention. My energy is with you. You got their attention. They want me to read for you. Don't worry, buddy. I'm going to get through everybody. Karen says, I love message, or love your message. Oh, love your message is marking you there. Anyways, they're going to give you a message anyways. Okay, Erik is here. What does Karen need to hear for her greatest good? Okay, so they're showing you in a yellow sundress, and Erik is doing cat calls right now. He's doing the wolf whistle. So he's. It feels like you have taken his messages to heart, and that you've done a few things, and whatever it is, he's giving you the cat calls, and he's giving you he's doing it all for you. And he wants you to take that feeling of, you start getting that feeling. Oh, thank you. Regardless of how old we are. Now, we got to remember, most women have been flooded by attention from men, but this isn't about that. This isn't about attention from men. It is feeling good about yourself. And that's the reason why you dress up. Why someone might do your hair in a different way, or put your makeup on in a different way. Get a new haircut, wear that dress, wear the jewelry, because you want to feel good about yourself. You're not doing it for other people, you're doing it for yourself. And you've done a little bit for you, and there's an energy shift that's happening within you. So keep going. It's like your inner self is cat calling you, and the spirit realm is cat calling you. And continue to do that to continue to feel better about yourself. But love it. Thank you. Alrighty, right. Okay, Silvana, I'm reading your 2 messages. These are from my hands. Okay, I got you, Silvana. So, Silvana, this is your first one at 1:21:29. Okay, so Silvana asks, may I please have a message from my higher self? Higher self. Coming closer. Okay, I didn't expect that twice, but thank you. Okay. A lot of energy. What does Silvana need to hear today? So you've been going through a process of letting go. And you've had a lot of events in your life recently where things are falling apart. And it's not so much that you are bringing karma forward to you, but it's more the opportunity of letting go. And you've been doing that. Could it be better? Yeah, it could be better, but you're doing it. And that's what's most important, is that you're letting go. Letting go when things go sideways, things go wrong, knowing that these things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. And ultimately, it's a lesson for you. And in this case, it's for you to let go and to feel lighter. Because as you let go, you just feel lighter. As you let go of those heavy bags, you feel lighter. So continue to let go as these events happen for you and things begin to line up into place, which is something you've already experienced with your recent insurance episode, that things are letting go. So continue to let go. Even let go of that outcome. Whether something happens or not, it feels good, but hold on to the feeling of goodness and how everything's going to work out and how good it is to have that bill paid off. And not by you or however it's coming. It's just that it's paid off. So hold on to that feeling of lightness, letting go of how it's going to happen and the outcome, but just know that you set the wheels in motion, that things are great. So that's what's coming in from you. Continue to let go. I hope that resonates. Awesome. Love you, girl. That's awesome. Love you. All right. So let me come to Elizabeth. Elizabeth at 1:24:24. Elizabeth says, wonder if you could tell me if I'll get back together with my ex-husband anytime in this lifetime. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so will Elizabeth get back together with her ex? If this is something that you want, there's the possibility. The fact that you've put this out there into the universe, you've already set the wheels in motions. But what's going to stop the wheels in motions is when you start having that, it's never going to happen. We're not going to get together. This is never going to happen again. Like when you start having some negative aspects of it, of defeatism. So let go of the defeatism and know that it is happening. So just allow it to happen and hold on to the feeling. If you do get that negative feeling, turn around and say, no, of course we're going to get together. This is how it's going to feel. And when we're together, it's going to be like this. It's going to be so wonderful. But then you might have some past thoughts and emotions and let that go because that's not you anymore. A lot of the issues that you had before was because of how you saw yourself. And as you saw yourself, you put that onto him. But that's not you anymore. You've been working on yourself. You're releasing the thoughts and notions of how you see yourself. And because you've let go of that, you've allowed room for your husband to come into that space. So yeah, you've created a space of allowing. So if you want it, you've set the wheels in motion, allow it to happen. Just continue to be kind to yourself and know that it's not him when you have problems or issues, that it's you, right? And it's not necessarily an attack against you. It's your self-judgment against yourself. And it's an opportunity for you to release it with the skills and tools that you've learned to release it. So continue to do that. Keep releasing. Yeah. And you might benefit. You guys know William Michael Forbes. I work quite a bit with him. And the upcoming 102 course is in 2 weeks. And that's all about releasing. And Elizabeth, you've done a lot of the preliminary work. You've gone through this. It'd be good for you to possibly go there as well. And that's in 2 weeks. So maybe consider that. Yeah, consider that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Yeah, awesome, Silvana. Let It Go is my new theme song. Beautiful. I love it. I love it, love it. So happy. Okay, let's keep going. I'm coming to Marie. Ever powerful. Marie, every time I think of you or say your name, I get native energy, and like the white buffalo type shows up, and all the native spiritual ancestors kind of show up for me. I know you're connected with that energy, and that's what I feel always comes up every time I just think about you. Native energy. It's very that's like the salt of the earth, right? It's just big space earth. And she says, speaking of that, all right, I'd love a message from my ancestors on what needs releasing from ancestral chimes. Ooh, ancestors. Okay. I feel them all piling in right now. There's quite a few. And what needs releasing? This is coming back to native energy, your ancestral energy on the native side. And what needs to be released was the fact that, the land was native for like 35,000 years. They were the caretakers of the earth and the land, and they lost that. And a lot of the ancestors have a lot of animosity towards the people that took it away from them. But they're now beginning to understand, which a lot of them are having trouble letting go, is that this was all part of the spiritual growth of the earth. It's what was necessary for the human race to go through. In order for us to ascend into 5D, we needed to go through that, even though they were very much spiritually connected at that point. So they kind of were like in 4D, but we had to go down to 3D in order to have that moment to kind of put us into 5D. It's like one step back, two steps forward. And this is what's happening with the evolution of the planet. The ancestors that are with you, again, have a hard time letting go that they went from 4D to 3D. But now that we see we're moving into 5D and the native energy is beginning to resurface, the greater kind of above overall grand scheme of things needs help releasing that ancestral loss. It's the bigger picture. It's the greatest good. And they know that's part of the culture. Sometimes things happen for the greatest good. It's not about the journey, the outcome. It's about the journey. And this is part of the journey, and it's all part of the lessons, and they need help releasing that. So how is she going to do that? So bring up the emotion of them losing the land and those events that happen as they were losing that land, and the wars and the fights that were happening in that, and the resistance that's there. Notice the emotions and feelings that have there. It feels like you've got a few arrows that are stuck in you, a few bullets, let's say, a few war wounds that are within you, and it's directly related to the ancestral war, losing that aspect, losing the war, but it's not necessarily you lost the battle, but it's not the war. The war is moving into 5D, and we're winning it. So that's the aspect of it, and that's the lessons that the ancestors need to see, and that's what you need to show them. So release that pattern from your ancestral past. That's cool. That's going to help the planet, Marie. You know, you've always been destined for big things, and that's going to help the planet. And I thank you for that. All right. Hey, Linda. Emu99/Linda. That's why I'm just going to write it down here. 3207. Okay, so Linda says, can I please get a message from Spirit and Erik if possible? Yeah. Spirit, Erik. Whew. Okay. I feel Erik is here, but there's a very tall being. It feels like a tall white that's here, galactic being. I do quite a bit of healing work with galactics, with tall whites. And my head is just being elongated right now, and I'm just feeling tall. And I can see the white and the silhouette, and more than the silhouette, I can see their body. I can feel that tall white energy. Tall whites. Erik is here with them as well. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of energy. Okay. Just allowing it to pass through. Me acclimate into my body self. Wow, okay. Because what does Linda need to hear for her greatest good? I'm seeing the tall white hold up his hands, and they're glowing with white light. And he's saying you're a healer. That when you put your hands on things, even though you might not know anything formally, when you put your hands on things, you are healing because that's your intention. And you're giving it love and your light, and you're just allowing things to happen. And that process, which is very much Reiki without the symbols, it is healing people. And they're showing that you are a healer. You have this ability within you. And whether you consciously know it or not, that when you put hands on something, that you are changing things. And and think about when a child falls down, scrapes their knee, and you hold on to it and you kiss it better. And you say, is that better? That's essentially what Reiki is. And that's essentially what you're doing with your hands as well. So this is very prominent within you. The healing energy flows greatly within you. That when you put your hands on somebody, physically or energetically, and you put your intention of just allowing the energy to flow and movement to happen, you are healing. So you are very much a healing. So know that aspect of yourself and begin to start letting go of the resistance that you may have, that you may not have within you. So you're a healer. Yeah, you can do a lot of good if you choose. You can do a lot of good. So let go of the resistance and know that you have this power within you. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, I'm got 4 more here. Let's go. And Silvana, I'm going to add you to the end. PT, I'm coming to you now. PT at 1:35:30. Okay. It's getting time for my freshly squeezed juice. Not time. High vibe energy. Sorry, guys. They want me to get this in me. I'm sure you guys don't need to see me drinking juice. But okay. PT says, hello, my sister and me do not share a very strong bond, but I do want to be friends with her. Could you please guide? Oh. There wasn't a time in your life when you did have a bond. And this is something that's going through me as well. My sister and I don't have the closest bond, but we used to have a very strong bond when we were children. And something similar that happened to my sister that happened to you, which I don't know, but this is what I've been getting through my emotional releases, and this is what they're showing me for you, is that something happened to her. Some event happened to her that she ended up pulling back. She ended up protecting herself, and she kept everyone away in order to protect them. And she still holds on to this guilt and pain, and whatever has happened to her, it's defined who she is, even though that's not who she is. She is a very much a loving being, a caring being, a wonderful woman, a wonderful person. But there's some emotions that happen to her at a very young age that she's not ready to deal with. And I can feel it in my knee and shin. So this is telling me it's happened around like 5 years old, at a very young age. So she may not remember it. Things that typically happen before 5, you don't really remember, because you're still in that theta dream world state, and it all seems like a dream. And most of it's lost, but it's there. So it feels like she went through something when she was younger, and that needs to be released. So what can PT do? For one is that you can talk to her and share this message with her that there is something there, that it would be beneficial for her to observe the emotions that happened to her when she was 5 years old, when she was younger, in order to release this past pain, whether she remembers it or not. But there's something there that happened that has separated you. So the fact that you have a strained relationship, ask the question, show me the cause of what pulled me away from the rest of the world, the rest of my family. Show me the core cause, and then go into meditation and sit and wait. And notice the image that comes up, notice the feeling that comes up, and then tune into that image and tune into that feeling, allow it to show up in the body, to see where it shows up in the body, and then get close to that area within the body. Once you get close to that area in the body, notice the emotions, notice the events, let it know that it's loved and saved. And this is then you go through the traditional emotional release work that you'll find a link in the description to. So this is her process to go through. This is something that you can do as well, because it affected you, because it didn't just affect her, it affected your mother, your father, you, the cousins and friends and all the people around her. It shifted everything. So what she needs to do is to begin to see the aspects of all the people around her that this affected, her pulling back, because this is it's multiple people that have been affected by this, and they all need to be releasing that. There's a lot of cords that are attached to this. And it's like when you look at a trampoline and there's cords in there. If you start snipping the cords, you snip one, all the other cords that are holding on, or the springs that are hanging on to the trampoline, keeps it very taut. But as you keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it, it becomes very loose, and that tension on the trampoline just can't sustain itself. So there is a need for that. As you keep on releasing emotions, more and more is released, and that strain of relationship, she'll release that, and you'll release that. So you can do this as well. Look at those emotions, look at how it affected you, look at how it affected her. You can start helping her and the other people in the family that this affected. So look at the emotional release work. You can do a lot of good. Awesome. It's a really good opportunity for you, PT. Really good opportunity for you. You are welcome, Elizabeth. Awesome. You are welcome, Linda. Yeah, profound, right? Hey, Tavishi. Okay, I can add you to the list. I'll have time. And let me come to my brother, Ahsen. And all these things are going to be added in the description below, timestamped. So 1:41:02. And Ahsen says, greetings, brother. My question is related to doing things we really don't feel like doing, but we need to do them to be better in better alignment. What are some ways to build a consistent routine? Who is this? I feel your higher self is coming forward on this, Ahsen. Okay. Doing things you don't really want to do, but need to. So you bring up a pretty good point. And that is the whole process of being on this earth, letting go. You know, there are many on this planet that have come to a point that they've let go of the expectations and outcomes of everything. And they don't do things that they don't have to do, but what they've been guided to do, and it feels right for them. And that is the ultimate goal. Now, during this transitional shift, the majority of the world, the ones that are really caught up in the 3D especially, but as we wake up and go through this transition, we are stuck in this energy of, I have to do this. And consider it this way. Consider it that you are tying loose ends. You are tying things up so you can finish with them so that you can let it go and allow the flow to come in. You are not only... They're showing me the analogy of a river of water. And there's a lot of floating pieces of wood in that water. Now, if you let that water flow with the debris within the water, it could come up to a point where it gets stuck and the dam begins to build, and the buildup of all the wood behind it creates a dam and the water can't flow. And this is kind of what's happened here. And this is where emotional releasing comes in, looking at our problems, looking at our life, our inner self. This is what begins to release the wood to allow it to flow again. But if you just release that wood without really giving it proper direction, it's going to possibly jam up again. So notice that this work that you need to do, this is you pulling the wood off to the side and tying it to the shore banks in order for the water to pass through without obstacle and hindrance from any debris that might pass through it. So think about the loose ends that you need to tie up, the work that you have to do, that you're just tying things up. But as you continue to align yourself into an energy of letting go, into just being more free. So you might be guided to leave a job. Right now, it's a necessity to have that job and work for money. And you have to do it in order to earn money. But what if you then shifted your energy into, I'm looking for something that's going to make me happy. How would I feel doing a job that I love? What would that look like? I don't know what that job is, but it would feel really good. So align yourself into the energy of feeling really good. And then tie up the job that you need to do, your responsibilities, and then continue to allow that new event to come in. And that when that new event comes in, you get to let go of everything else. So think of it as tying loose ends, but you need to put yourself into a feeling of what you do want. Otherwise, you're always going to be stuck in that energy of, I don't like to do this. I don't want to do this. So that's the energy that you're attracting to you, that you're continuing to attract energy that is work that you don't want to do. So that's what you're putting your focus on. So put your focus on letting go. Everything is more freeing. This is what I love to do. This is what I want to do. Great. Oh, I have to do this job? Okay, let me just tie up this loose end. I'm just going to put you onto the bank so it's not going to bother me again to allow this. So change your intention and energy around this work. Letting go. Allow it to flow. More will happen to you as you continue down this process. Keep going, Ahsen. You're doing great, brother. Of course, Kerilyn, I got you. All right, so Kerilyn, 145, 54. Kerilyn says, not too late. I get a message from Kryon, please. Kryon, would you come in, please? I hear a sentence, I am the one that you know, that you know is Kryon, something like that is always pops into. It's not a clear word verbiage for me, but it's something along those lines. Feels like a spade of energy in my back and coming up in my face here, but it's like it feels like an upside down spade. How the energy is just outlaying in the body. Yeah. Okay. So Kryon. What's the message? Oh, dear people, dear ones, you're moving into a state of allowing. You're moving into a new world, and many changes are going to be coming forward for you. Many aspects of this world of what you think it is not going to be the same anymore. This world of what you have, your expectations of what you want to be, of going back to the old ways, isn't what is necessary for you or for your greatest good. The process of allowing, going into communities, becoming more love-based, going into taking care of each other, turning in more into forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, becoming love, becoming one, storing up the food for you to feed others. It's not about just storing the food for yourself and to sustain your bodies, it's to sustain your communities. So feed your communities, feed the people around you, and move into the sense of community. And as you move into the sense of community, you're going to align yourself into the energy of allowing and being one, into what we call the 5D world. And this new world that you see is beautiful. It is wonderful. It is caring. It is something that you only had dreamed of, only that you have seen in the movies. But it starts with you letting go of the judgment of yourself, letting go of the expectations, letting go of any negativity that you would have towards the people trying to control the narrative. They are in fear. So they need compassion. They need to see compassion, even though they think they are doing good for the world. They are not. But the overall consciousness and these ones that you call the farmers and the truckers, they're aligning and they are showing you the sense of community, becoming one, getting yourself out of these large apartment buildings and cities and moving out into larger spaces. And know that when you're in these large apartment buildings, that their notion is that they can lock the door and keep you safe. But for you yourself, you know that that's not what you need. You need to be set free so you can warm and breathe the warm air of the sun in. So with these politicians and with these people making the decisions for your global world, look to let go. Look to let go of that, because they are in fear, and do not think negative of them. They don't know any better, even though many are waking up within their world. But that's the process. But the majority of you, or even the ones that are awake around your world, that holds greater energy in the higher vibration, that is shifting the world, and it is not going to go back. You are destined, you are moved toward this world, and there is no turning back to this new world. And this new world is filled with love, compassion, community, unity, looking out for everyone and taking care of one another. And that is the world we're moving into. But it starts with forgiving yourself and loving yourself. I'm the one we call Kryon. Cool. Love Kryon. Wow. I've challenged Kryon a couple of times, and he's coming a little bit more clearly each time. And that was a good one. Thanks for bringing that forward, Kerilyn. That was really cool. Yeah, you're welcome, Pete. You're very welcome. All right, so we're going to come to Tavishi and then Silvana, and we're going to be wrapping up the day. Tavishi, here we go. 50, 49. Oh, okay. Who's coming in? Tavishi asks, please, any messages for me and my loved ones? I feel your ancestral family coming forward on this one. Mixed in with them are some angels, guardian angels of the many. Okay, so what does Tavishi need to hear? For her and the family, their greatest good. So it feels as if your family unit is beginning to wake up a bit. Your family unit is there's a mix in your family of what you might call awake and people that are very much in the 3D world, living in fear. What they're saying is the greatest support that you can give for your entire family is to be kind and give them the space to move. Because the ones that are in fear, they don't know any better. And they're referring back to the Kryon message that I just read as well at 1:55:54. So this goes for your family as well. And it feels, even though your cousins and family and parents and nieces, aunts and uncles, some are awake, some are closed off, some are very tied to the cultural aspect of the religious aspect of your culture and the cultural ways of doing things as well. That many are tied to that, and that's all they know, and that's fine for them. That is their world. So we'll allow them to be in that space, and they might try to hold you back and tell you can't go in the space that you're going with spirituality, waking up, being a little, in their eyes, flighty, or you're not following the ways that they do it. That doesn't mean that's wrong. There's multiple ways to do things, and there's multiple roads and pathways to get to the same destination. Even up the mountain, there are multiple pathways. You might not know that pathway, but there are multiple pathways up at the top. So this is something that you get to do as a person who is much more awake or a little bit more connected than others, is to hold space for them, everyone. And as people are shifting or complaining that so-and-so is doing this or not doing that, they want you to do that, remind them that they don't know any better. Remind them that, we're all shifting into love and we're eventually going to get there, but this is all they know. So be kind to them. So share your message of kindness to your family. And this is what I'm getting from your ancestors. That's necessary for the entire family to grow and to learn and to move in their ascension, especially this ascension that's upon us. We're going to be seeing the world shifting. It's happening very fast now. We already had everything released, so everything's going to be happening extremely fast now. So expect that to be happening for you as well and your family, and that's what you need to do. Help people see the other side of things. That's all they know. It's okay. Let them be. Let them be. And when they see that, yes, Auntie, yes, Uncle, I hear you. Yes, you're right. But it doesn't mean that you have to do what they're saying. But they do want to be listened to. That's all they want to do is be listened to. Once they're listened to, it can help them. Okay, so continue to share your love. Appreciate it. Thank you for bringing that question. That was wonderful. Okay, so last question for today. is for Silvana. 2-1-55-08. Okay, Silvana says, may I please have a message from my friend's mom for her or her family? Okay, friend's mom. Message. So it feels like you're speaking of one that just recently lost friend's mom. Lost a family member. Lost their husband. Okay, you want to come closer? She might not be ready to hear this, but the energy that comes through, this person that's passed, it seems like this person's husband has come through who recently passed. He's like, he doesn't want her to cry. He doesn't want her to be upset because he's just gone home. He's gone home to prepare the home. He wants her to see it that, I've just driven ahead to our new home to get the space ready, to lay down new flooring, to hang up lights and chandeliers, and to make it a little bit more homey before you get there. And he's just preparing the space for her, so that this isn't a goodbye thing. He hasn't left her. He's just moved ahead to get the space ready and make it even better for her when she's ready to come home. And this is your home. So this angst and worry that she's feeling is very hard on her. And again, she might not be ready to hear it, but this is the message. This is what it is. And this is what happens when everybody dies. That people are just going home. And that if you're leaving a loved one behind, that it's not leaving behind. That they're just going home, getting the space ready. And you never want to prevent someone from going home. Why do you want to hold them? You've been outside all day. You've been shopping all day. You've been on your feet all day. Don't you just want to go home? Isn't that time? So when people pass away and they transition, they're just going home. You've been on your feet all day. You've been working your butt off all day, cooking, cleaning, shopping, just to go home, prepare it again in this room. Now you're going home to relax and be free and really get to put your feet up. There's a big difference here. And that's the message for her. I hope that resonates. That was beautiful. I want to thank everyone who got their message again. Remember this month's Patreon, which is the first Thursday of every month, starting Thursday. It's all about energizing the body and getting it ready for the upcoming shifts that are happening. And predominantly it deals with the food. Our environment and food is changing. What's going to be available to us is going to be changing. And it feels like this is necessary for our bodies to be prepared for the famine that is upon us. In this upcoming meditation, we will be guiding you through your digestive system, your stomach, your gallbladder. We're going to be guiding you through the pancreas to digest the food and the famine that will be coming towards you, allow it to become more efficient in order to survive and process on less nutrients entering your body. We'll be cleansing your blood and the diseases and increasing your white blood cell count as we cleanse the liver and pancreas, liver and spleen. We're going to be making your bodies more efficient. As less nutrients, you become more efficient in processing the nutrients you're able to get in your body. You'll be able to fight off disease and especially things that are put upon you more easily. So know that this is going to be an activation, and it is something to be shared with the world. So not only will this particular Patreon be done in a private setting, the energy is a little bit more stronger when you do it live, but it'll be available in a pre-record as well for everyone else as well. So that'll be coming up. And that will be the first Thursday of this month. Patreon group. Thank you, everyone, for that. Thank you. Anything else? No. If you guys like this, I'll be back next Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Share it out. If you think somebody needs a message, come back in the comments. Let me know how the message turned out for you, how it was for you. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. And I've been guided. What I've been doing a little bit is I've been aligning myself with certain energies and asking and having Q&A sessions. So if there is somebody that you would like me to channel, I will go into meditation, align myself with them, and we'll have a Q&A with all your questions and put this out. It feels like a need and they want me to do this. I don't know who it is, but it is something that needs to come through. But let me know in the comments who you want me to channel. And if your question wasn't answered, you have questions, leave it in the comments and ask. Yeah. You're welcome, brother. You're very welcome. Awesome, Grace. I'm always excited you're there. You have amazing energy, and I'm thankful to have your supportive sister energy. You are my past family for sure, and current family energetically. You're welcome, Grace. So with that, this has been another Channeling Erik Archangel Guidance and another round of live readings. And my name is Khan Mustafa, also known as Khan Knight, an intuitive empath. And I'm using this time as a practice time to enhance my intuitive gifts to better understand my body and other people's bodies. So come back again. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Channeling Erik. Please go visit Elise Medhus. All the links here and information is in the description below to popular channels, playlists, and events. And we'll see you on Friday. Much love, everybody. Thank you all so much. And I'm so thankful. Much love. Bye.